Hey traders, happy Friday. Matt Morris here, CEO of Top One Trader, here for your weekly video update. Have an exciting video here for you. You know it's serious when I break out the whiteboard behind me. So going to share with you something here in just a few minutes that I think can be one of the most financially savvy lessons of your life. In fact, when a mentor of mine showed me this many years ago, it really changed the game for me. It showed me that I was really operating at the wrong level as it relates to wealth. And so stay tuned for that. Before I hop into that, I just want to give a huge congratulations to our community here because we finished not only another record month in new traders, we finished another record month of payouts to our Top One community. And so congratulations. We have also seen a really cool trend that is happening more and more as time goes on, and that is consistency in payouts. In fact, over the last 2 weeks, right around 50% of our payouts are multiple payouts, meaning the traders are getting their second, third, fourth, fifth payout from Top One. So congratulations for those of you who are pulling down those payouts. Well done. We are crushing it with our Operation Lightning payouts, which I've been sharing over the last couple of weeks. In fact, it was last week. We were 5 hours and 16 minutes fast on that. And we looked over this week, actually, the week's not over yet, but we have cut that even faster. We're, I think, around 3 hours average payout time for this week. So anyway, very excited. We've got a few more payouts that we will process today to round out the month. It is also the last day to capitalize on our 50% off promotion. And so we will likely not run another 50% promotion. We launched Trade Locker and really just wanted to give back to the community. So prices will go way up starting tomorrow. So if you want to take advantage of that 50%, definitely do so by the end of the day, midnight tonight, Dallas, Texas time. Now, speaking of consistency in payouts, one of the things that a mentor of mine shared with me many, many years ago was the 2 keys to success. And what they said was the 2 keys are consistency and love of the game. Okay. And for whatever reason, those that just stuck with me. And I've remembered this for well over a decade of my life. And, you know, everyone knows consistency is key, especially in trading. If you're not consistent as a trader, you're never going to reach your financial goals. And the question is, how do you remain consistent, right? There's will, there's grit and determination, especially, if you're kind of like have alpha male tendencies. You're like, I'm just going to will myself to be consistent. And what one of my mentors taught me is, if you fall in love with the game, it's easy to be consistent. And so I used to have the mentality of I'll crawl through broken glass to have success. Like I'll pay the price, I'll grind it out. And that was very much my mentality. And it was a struggle to stay consistent because it wasn't natural. And when I decided to just fall in love with the game, whatever that game I was playing was in business, then it became much easier to be consistent. And so it's how I look at Top One, being the CEO here. Why am I so consistent? Why is our founding team so consistent? Because we love the game. We genuinely love what we do. We love this community. We love our affiliates. We love our staff. And it's a game for us. And because it's a game for us, every week we're competing to be better than we were the previous week. We look at our scoreboard and look at all our KPIs, our key performance indicators every single week. Monday, we have a management meeting and we look through all those and it's like, all right, we did better here. We did better here. Ah, man, we didn't do as good here. Let's make up for it this week. So it's a game for us. And what happens is when you fall in love with the game, it's harder not to work than it is to work, right? I find myself eat, sleep, and breathe Top One. Why? Because it's such a fun game. I've fallen in love with it, and so it's easy to remain consistent. So my friends, fall in love with trading. Whatever it is you want to succeed at, fall in love with it. And now what I want to do is I want to share with you what was maybe the biggest financial lesson of my life as it relates to wealth building. And it really helps people identify where they're operating. And what I want to teach you guys today is the difference between the poor, the middle class, and the rich. Okay, what's the difference between the poor, the middle class, and the rich? And the difference between the three, it's all about the philosophy of money. What do the poor, the middle class, and the rich believe the purpose of money is for? And so think about for yourself, before I get into it, if I were to ask you, what's the purpose of money? What would your answer be? Okay. And I'm going to break this down And here's what I learned is for the poor, the purpose of money is to pay bills and to buy things, right? So what happens is when you get any money in, you're going to pay your bills and then you're going to buy things. And that's the purpose of money, is to buy stuff. And what happens is no matter how much money you're earning, if you have a poor mentality as it relates to the purpose of money, if you believe the purpose of money is to buy things, no matter how much money you get, you're always going to be buying more things, more things, more things. And as soon as you stop generating more income, those things obviously have a depreciating value and you end up poor again. It's why 90%, this is crazy, 90% of people who win the lottery, who become millionaires within 5 years, they're poor all over again. Why? Because it's not about how much money you make, it's about your philosophy of money. And if you don't change your philosophy of money, you will always remain poor. So it's important that we elevate the level that we're operating at. Now, where the majority of people live, in most countries, is the middle class, right? And the middle class believe that the purpose of money is to buy assets, right? This is their main motivation. Is like, all right, I want to stock up on assets. I'm going to go buy a car. Most middle class, they buy about the most expensive car that they can get financed for. They buy the most expensive house that they can get financed for, okay? Thinking that a house is an asset. Now, in the general financial world, you can consider a house an asset because it appreciates. Like it's a thing that you own, so maybe it's an asset. But the rich don't really consider a house an asset because when you factor in your mortgage payments, your insurance, the taxes you pay on the house, you've typically, even if you hold, the average person stays in a house for about 6-7 years, by the time you sell it, you've spent as much as you've made on the house. So maybe you have some equity in the house, but you figure the mortgage payment, interest, taxes, everything else, you're flat, if not losing money on that, right? And so this is why the middle class remain in the middle class. They can never get ahead because their focus is buying these assets, right? So what do the rich believe the purpose of money is? See, the rich believe the purpose of money is to multiply their money, to multiply their money. And if your focus becomes to multiply your money, this is the path to get very, very wealthy, to get rich. And see, when I heard this a long time ago, it hit me like a ton of bricks because where I was operating was in the middle class. I wanted assets, right? I wanted to have a big home and a nice car and a lot of money in the bank. I had, in fact, when I heard this lesson, I had about $1 million just in a bank account. If you have money in a bank account, and that money is your asset, you are losing money because with inflation, you're actually losing money if you have cash in the bank. Not that you shouldn't have some cash, but I had over $1 million just sitting in a bank account, right? Because I had a middle class mentality. And so when I decided I'm going to start operating at this level, how do I take the assets that I have and multiply them? Let me put that money to work. If you have money in a bank account, you're losing money. Put that money into something that can multiply it, right? That's one of the reasons why I got into trading, because it will help me multiply my money. That's why I got big into real estate. When I heard this lesson, I had some real estate, but I decided to make it a huge focus. And so today I have about a little over 1,800 different apartment units, a bunch of different commercial stores that I own with, my business partners, right? And it's allowed me to multiply my money. And so here's the challenge. What happens is you have poor mentality people who start making money like a rich person, right? They start making a few $100,000 a year, $1 million a year. You've seen this with prop firm owners, right? As soon as all this money starts coming in, it's like, oh, awesome. Let me go buy things. Let me go buy a Rolex. Let me go buy a Ferrari. Let me get a Lambo. Let me go do yacht parties. And you spend all that money and you never end up becoming truly rich because your focus is on buying things versus multiplying your money. Now, there's been a lot of people over the years who I've helped make money, and they've gone from being super, super poor, right, welfare poor, to $1 million a year. And as soon as they get to $1 million a year, I'm thinking of one example. He went out and bought a Rolls-Royce Dawn for $420,000. Why? Because he believed the purpose of money was to buy things. He thought that Rolls-Royce was going to make him feel good internally, And what did it do really? It just eroded his wealth. Had he put that $420,000 into something that would multiply it, he'd be a much wealthier man today. So I'm telling you, some of you are going to make a lot of money with Top One. Some of you are going to be getting payouts like, Ziad had a $26,000 payout this month, right? Well done. When you start making that money, think about multiplying it. Have a rich mentality versus a poor mentality, and my friend, you will be rich. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week for another lesson here, and I just appreciate everything that you guys are doing. I appreciate the trust, and we just know that we would not be here if it weren't for our amazing community of traders, and so we appreciate it. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to serve you.